Hey there, ladies and gents. Welcome to Flight Simulator X. Today we are going to be flying at the Douglas DC3, one of my favourite aircraft of all time. Do hope that you guys do enjoy this video. I recently got a computer. Today we are going to be taking off from Hamilton International Airport. Sorry about if I did not tell you that I was getting a computer. I just want to take the weight on it. So yeah, so I got Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition here, and I have the HP Pavilion laptop. So yeah, it's been running really well, and I really do enjoy flying the DC3 around. It's a great airplane, and I would definitely recommend, if you guys do have Flight Simulator X, you should definitely get it. On Steam, it's about $27.99, so it's not that bad. You guys should probably pick it up if you haven't yet, if you guys do like flying. So I got this game about a week ago, and yeah, so the game graphics aren't all good, you know. Well, it's fine, I guess, you know. It's not fancy, but that's not what it's here for. So today, as you did here, we are flying in a Douglas DC3, and today my controller is going to be the Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS, not X, just the T-Flight HOTAS controller for my PS4. I managed to hook it up, so what I'm going to do for you guys is, after this, I will upload a video, hopefully, if I have the time to, and I will be recording on how I set this up. It's not that hard, actually, if you want to do it. It's pretty simple. Alright, so anyway, let's get this bird in the sky, shall we? So today we're at Hamilton International Airport, and I got my flight checklist here for me, about I think 7 so odd pages. Okay, so before starting our engines, let's get our battery switch on. Alright, let's find that. There's that. Nope, that's GPS. Throttle quadrants. Okay, so battery switch is right here, master battery, so that's going to turn on all of our avionics. Secondary generator switches for the engines, so let's go ahead and prop those on, because we will definitely need those for engines 1 and 2. Besides, also this aircraft is very easy to fly. Next up, fuel gauges. We don't really have to deal with that. Navi and strobe lights have to be turned on. Right, there we go. Beacon lights, I guess we can turn those off then. Strobes, where are those at? Instrument panels, we do not need those. Land lights, okay, so I can only find okay, well, alright, well, whatever then. Navi and strobes, I guess. Next up, seatbelt no smoking signs. Okay, so those have to be turned on, definitely, because we don't want anyone smoking on this plane. But back then, didn't really give a shit. You could smoke a cigarette or whatever like that on the plane and no one would care, because it was back then. Okay, so we have, alright, well, those are master switches. That's no smoking. I didn't know that. For some reason the seatbelt sign isn't working, but also this aircraft is cargo, so that might be why. Yeah, I can't really find the strobe lights on here. I think that shouldn't really be much of a problem. I don't really think it should be fine, because the generators are on, all that kind of stuff. So cockpit is quite simple, easy setup, and everything there. It's quite easy plane to fly. I'll give you a little background history. So the aircraft was, this particular model was used in the Second World War as the C-47 Skytrain. You might go ahead and look that up. Trim tabs are already on natural. Parking brake is already on. Carburetor heat is already on. Cowl flaps are already open. Fuel selector is already required. Let's see, propellers full forward. High RPM throttles. This should be fine. Mixtures. Idle cut off. Those are already gone. Pilot heat is already off. Okay, so now let's start the engine. So passengers and everything like that are on board. Clock is already set. Next page. Parking brake. Okay, let's go ahead and turn the parking brake off very quickly here. Oops. Okay, parking brake is off. Next up, mixtures are auto rich, fuel boost pumps are already off, mixture auto rich, okay. Trying to do this as realistic as I can, because right now our mixtures are on cut, so let's get those on rich now. Alright, mixtures are on rich. Next up, fuel tank selector is already on all, crab heat is already on. Ignition, propeller checks each engine. Okay, so let's alright, so now let's fire up the engines then, shall we? Alright, so propeller prop control, let's boost that up to 100. Alright, overhead panel. Alright, so let's start the engines up then. I'll switch on. Okay, now we're just going to take a quick peek. We're going to hear. Alright, engine 2 is on. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, now all we have to do is just hear for this one. Alright, now let's go to... Alright, well, I guess we can't really move to the other seats, but we can hear it. Okay, looks like our engines are on. Beauty, beauty. Booster pumps, I think those, we check really quick to see if those are to be turned on or not. Let's see here. Alright, well, we should be okay. Alright, now we can push back. Alright, let's do that. Okay, now let's just quickly request a little pushback here from our buddy. So, to push back, it's Shift P. I think I may have accidentally left the parking brake on then. And parking brake is off. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're getting pushed back. Alright, let's take a quick little look to the outside of the aircraft. Jeez, that A321's in the way. Okay, so here's the plane. Quite nice. I do like it. It's beautiful. So this is the cargo variant of it. So if you guys do live in Hamilton, or at least heard of it, it's Hamilton, Ontario. It's where I live. So we're just going to get a little pushback, and then what we're going to do is we're going to taxi around and then over to there. Now I do have the Thrustmaster rudder pedals. I still need to set those up. Right now they're not plugged in, so what I do to help turn the aircraft is I fool with the throttle quadrant a little bit. Okay, I think we're good for that. Alright, that's good, dandy. Okay, so now what we do to, because how I taxi is I toy with the throttle. It's very unrealistic there, truck just went right through us. So what I'll do is I'll start the throttle and then I'll just cut it. And that's how we'll move. So today we're not going to be flying far, we're just going to do a little loop around, probably fly a little bit close. I don't really want to go to Toronto though. That's a little bit of a longer flight. We'll do that next time, I think. I just want to introduce you guys to the game and give my thoughts on it. If you guys do see the recording symbol up there, apologies for that. I'm still new to all this stuff. Yeah, so as I did mention, using this controller for PS4, it works just fine in and everything like that. Using it on PC, I first had to get used to it. Now, if you're going to use it on laptop, it's going to be a little bit more tricky for you. It's probably going to be tricky anyway in the first place. It always is, you know, just testing out a new game and everything. But to control the aircraft normally without using a joystick or a yoke or something, you use the arrow keys, not WASD, and it can get pretty tricky because instead of just holding it down and the airplane just follows with it, you have to tap it. So let's say we would just fly normally and I had to climb a little bit. I would have to tap the bottom arrow key constantly. I couldn't really hold it down because it might just do something weird. And then I want to do a turn, I would have to tap on the little thing there on the right or left arrow key instead of holding it down, or even if I did hold it down it would just go weird or something. So, you know, it's a little bit weird without a joystick, so I just feel like if I'm going to use this, then I'm going to do it with the joystick. Oh dear, we're going off-road. Christ. Well, this aircraft is a bush plane, so you know what, that's fine, but I don't really think it's fine according to Hamilton Airport regulations. I don't think that was really appropriate. But yeah, I did have a comment actually asking about War Thunder, so I'm still going to let you guys know about that. War Thunder is working just fine. There was just a little bit of an issue, like a hiccup. I guess it wasn't really noticing the rudder pedals, and that's just about it. So that's pretty much all I have to clarify on that. But the rudder pedals do work fine, or are supposed to work fine on FSX and X-Plane 10 and X-Plane 11 and whatnot. They do have X-Plane 10 for PC, but it's 64-bit, and I do not have that, so I sadly cannot get X-Plane 10 for here, but I can definitely get it on my iPad or something like that, as we all know. But pretty much X-Plane 11 probably has the best graphics just because it's new. This game came out in 2006, 3 years after I was born, and X-Plane 11 came out I think somewhere around 2017 or something like that. So X-Plane 11 is brand new. Graphics on there are beautiful, you know, and everything. And FSX is pretty plain, to be honest, but it's okay. Like, I still enjoy it. It's a great game. It's perfect for people who want to learn how to fly simulators and whatnot. Like, I've seen people build like home cockpits and everything like that. It's crazy how much money people can put into this thing. So that's the good thing about computers. Okay, I think we're all good to take off now. Alright, full throttle. Alright, here we go. So DC3 is probably going to be my favorite aircraft in this game so far. The game has all the countries, all the cities, everything like that, pretty much. You can fly all over the world. It's got hundreds of thousands of aircraft to fly. Civil, they've added in pretty much a hell of a lot of good warplanes in this game. Okay, V1 rotate. Gear up. Okay, so we're now airborne. So yeah, using the Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS, we're not using the HOTAS X. HOTAS X is for PS3 and for PC. So a couple of the button configurations on the HOTAS are not working, such as the throttle quadrant for the HOTAS for PS4. It does not work for this game because there's no PC control for it. So that's kind of sad, but hopefully I'll be looking into getting a SciTech yoke and throttle quadrant, and maybe the instrument Pro Flight switch panel that allows you to start the engines and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. I'm looking into that. But if you guys are wanting like some high-end real deal stuff, Yoko yoke is one of them. They have Virtual Fly has made that certain thing. It's a yoke that is completely made out of steel and aluminum, and it plugs in right into the PC. It's perfect actually, and I think it goes for almost like in the $1,000 range. And their throttle quadrant for Virtual Fly is, I think, around $500 or so. It's quite a bit of money. They are asking for quite a bit, but what you're getting out of it is pretty damn worth it. My PS4 joystick is just made of plastic completely, just a couple, you know, nails and whatnot, steel nails, and that's about it. But you know, the plastic is it's built to last. It's not cheap shit like from dollar store and whatnot. So it's good that I have this kind of stuff. But you know, I think what would feel more better is having a controller that is for PC and having like everything just working fine, instead of only being able to use joystick and a couple of buttons. Like I have to use the L2 to full throttle and the options button to cut throttle, so that's what I use to taxi around and whatnot. So anyway, here's Hamilton, Ontario, and it looks pretty dull. It does not look that good. It definitely looks a lot better if you were flying in real. Apologies for the game's PS2 graphics. Nah, just kidding. Gotta give this game some big ass respect. They do say that this is the best flight simulator to come out in a long time. X-Plane 10 and this game are actually rounding it up between that mark. So that's pretty good. And I'm really enjoying this game so far, so it's a great game and I'm loving it. So yeah, but Toronto actually in this game looks very nice, to be honest. I'm really liking Toronto in this game. You can see the CN Tower, it looks awesome, and everything. So the cockpit view, what you get out of it is not bad. The DC3 in real has a couple more things to it, but pretty much everything here is clickable, it's pressable, but there are still a couple things that have to be put in. But for now, this is a pretty damn good cockpit. For this plane. The DC3 is actually my favorite aircraft to fly, and I really do enjoy it. So now let's exit out to flyby mode. There we go. So looking at it, it's a twin engine aircraft. It's pretty dank. I like it. Oh, that was a beautiful flyby. So this particular aircraft I think was built around 1936. Initially, the DC2, which is this thing's older sister, was built in, I think in the 20s or something, but the DC3 was actually one of the most famous civil aircraft to be released in the world at that time, and in the 40s it was turned into a troop carrier, and it was renamed the C-47 Skytrain. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. This aircraft has a good history. There's still actually quite a few around the world. If you guys do watch, probably don't, but if you do, or at least heard of this show called, what's it called again? Like, these ice pilots or something like that, who fly planes like this in Alaska, or something like that. Buffalo, I don't really know, but still. But they do have DC3s, so DC3s are actually very popular. It's still a popular aircraft, and I really do like them. So it flies really beautifully in this game. You guys should definitely get this, I swear. It has a lot of add-ons. I think the initial add-up would be somewhere around $9,000, maybe $5,000, I don't know, for like everything to get in this game. So there's a lot of money that people do put into this, but it's one of the most realistic flight simulators out there, and it's still very popular today. You know, like this game came out 3 years after I was born, and it's still amazing today, so I really do enjoy it. And I just got it. I'm loving it. So we got Lake Ontario over there. Pretty damn blue, it's like a little tour guide I'm giving you. So I think around here, this is around Burlington or something like that. I don't really want to fly all the way to Toronto. I don't want to take up all your time here. But Toronto is in that direction. We could try flying to Toronto. I wouldn't really mind it, but I just don't really want to take up all your time here. But Toronto is in that direction. The Island Airport is in here too. And the CN Tower does look pretty darn nice in this too. So I guess we could try flying to Toronto, I guess. Yeah, why not? Won't take that long. Autopilot master switch. I don't really think we'll need autopilot for this flight. I'm okay with cruising. Okay, so let me check the checklist here actually quite quickly for a second. So we already have everything. Everything's all good. Wheels are fine. Mixtures are fine. Fuel selectors are fine. And yeah. Alright, we are all good. But yeah, I'm not really sure if I did tell you or not, but I did fly a plane. It was a while ago, last year, on March break. I took a Cessna 172 up on this particular flight path. Sorry, my words are slurring up. But yeah, I flew a Cessna 172, I think from the 70s, something like that maybe. And it was over Lake Ontario, and we were flying from Hamilton to Toronto and back. And the thermals on that day were crazy. They were rocking the plane everywhere, so it got pretty annoying because all of a sudden, you know, we were just flying smooth like this, and then the plane just drops itself and picks itself back up. So it got pretty intense up there. But we flew, I think, to 2,000 feet or so, and it was really damn fun. Like, amazing experience getting to fly for the first time. It was lovely. You know, I've never flown a Cessna before. And it's probably the easiest aircraft I've ever flown. The Cessna in this game is actually not so bad. It's okay. But so far I'm loving the DC3. So I think the in-game flight from Hamilton to Toronto is somewhere around maybe, I think 15, 20 minutes. I'm not 100% sure. It's a possibility, but Toronto Pearson Airport in this game is actually pretty damn big, and it's reasonable. Okay, so I think that's it right there. Yep, that's Toronto Pearson right there. Okay, so there's Toronto Pearson Airport. So let's descend the. Alright, so now let's start descending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull over to the side, because I want to land on a certain runway that takes me right in, because there's a certain spot that I fly to. Okay, so our current airspeed is, I think we're almost going to reach, yeah, so we're at 170 right now. I don't want to go that high, I mean that fast. And we are flying at 8,000 so odd feet. So we're pretty high up. Okay, so now let's just slow down a little bit. Alright, I'm going to cut our throttle. Okay, I think we're good here. 57, 60. I just want to slow down enough to make this landing good. Alright. I don't really think we're supposed to lower flaps at this altitude, so I'm not going to do that. But we definitely do need our landing lights for sure. That's definitely what we do need. Okay, mixture is definitely on auto rich, we all know that. But yeah, we gotta get this sucker on the ground. So those are navi lights. Landing lights are on. Instrument panel lights, we did not need those actually. No smoking sign. And we do not have any passengers on board, so we don't really need the, because this is a cargo plane, it's in the cargo plane variant, even though you guys did see that it has seats. But some of the buttons don't really work, some of them do. It's all together. So there we can see CN Tower, just in the distance over there. Okay, let's drop a little bit. So whenever I come in for landing, I always do play around with the throttles, because I don't have a throttle quadrant that works with this, so I have to cut the throttle and then power it back up again, cut it, you know. Alright, let's look over here, see which runway we're going to land on. Okay, so the runway Where... Okay, you know. Okay, yeah. Right, I found out the runway that I'm going to land on. I don't really think I'm going to contact ATC just because, you know, why not. But there's the CN Tower near Canada Centre. So it looks pretty good in this game. I like it. It's pretty nice. Okay, let's start turning here. Alright, altitude is 6,000 feet. We are pretty high up. Okay, let's come in for landing now. I also got to slow down. We're about to overspeed. I just got to drop that nose. Okay, current airspeed right now is 220. Okay, we are coming in pretty damn hot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the engine. Alright, let's get our flaps down. And what's our current altitude? 5,000 feet. Alright, let's get the gear down now. Alright, gear's down. Speed 140, not bad, that's okay. Okay, so the runway that we're going to land on is right there. If my cursor does not show it, it's going to be the one to the left that's lit up. So that's the one that we're landing on. Let's bring in a little bit more speed. I don't want to go too slow because then if we do, then we're going to stall and that's going to suck. And I want to butter the bread on this landing. Okay, so we're at 130 right now. I think I can add in just a wee bit more throttle, but not quite yet. Alright, let's add in a little bit now. Let's cut. Alright, throttle cut now. Flaps, where did we find those at? Whoa. There's the 407. Good old highway. Okay, 130. What we are doing right now is very illegal because we did not contact ATC to request landing clearance, so what we're doing is pretty much illegal. And if this was real, we'd probably have a lot of agents on our ass. Actually, there's a plane right there who's just getting ready to take off, so that just shows that I'm not doing this properly, but it's fine. We're touching down now. Alright, let's butter this. Alright, brakes on. Did a little bit of a bounce, so it's not completely butter on the bread, but it's decent enough. Okay, I can go ahead and release the landing brake. Alright, let's take a look on the outside. So we're still kind of sitting up there. Okay, plane is now successfully on the ground. We are all good. Hopefully that Piper over there does not chase us down and hit us. He would have a big ass lawsuit on his hands. Power up a little bit. And we're going off-road. Whoops. That's okay. Yeah, let's just cut all the taxiways. Yeah, that's smart. I think we're good. We can just stop the plane here. Okay, now let's just quickly go through the done plan now. Okay, so now we just got to turn off these lights. No smoking sign off. Okay, so all we have to do now is I'm just going to shut down the engines. So generators turned off. Master avionics switch can be turned off. Battery switch off. Propeller control is going to be put down. Probably should raise those flaps. Dropping fuel mixture, that's going down to 0. Turning off these switches here. The engine's already turned off, but yeah, so now it's just dead silence. Okay, plane is now successfully turned off. We can now go ahead and let whoever I guess was on the flight off the plane. To open up the doors, all you guys do is you just press Shift E. And then that opens up the door. And there we go. Okay, so successful landing and takeoff all in all. Successful flight. Yeah, so that was actually quite enjoyable. If you guys do want more Flight Simulator X videos, do let me know and I will happily do them for you. If you guys did enjoy this one, please do make sure that you guys leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the skies, and I'll also be posting on how I set up my PS4 Thrustmaster HOTAS controller joystick to this game. Alright, take care guys, I will see you in the skies next time. Cheers.